Should be starting any second now. Raw trolley in hand for Fernando. I cannot get closer. I have tried. This is about as close as I can get. We have liftoff. Roaring Moon start. Probably not great, but we do have the raw trolley, so I mean, you take it, I guess. We're definitely not complaining about raw trolley, even with the Roaring Moon in the active here. Maybe a question of getting it out of the active might be a thing. But yeah, 3 Chanseys and 2 Monkey-Dories are going to be the grab here. Let's see. Gonna see some prize checking here. I see an Ultra Ball as well. Looks like it is the Blissey EX grab here. I already know how to say Cifuentes. I can only say Cifuentes when I see it written. I don't remember the pronunciation, I just have to read it. I don't know why I wouldn't want to say it. Alright, Pokegear here. Fernando doing just about everything he can before the eventual Badoo. Now, we did have a quick interview with Brent going into this, and Brent, I mean, isn't counting on using Badoo in the early game. Still, of course, as Fernando, you definitely should be playing around the Badoo to the best of your ability, right? No reason to brick yourself, but let's see here. What do we have for Brent? I see a bunch of Psychic Energies. I see a for Serendipity, there's a Ralt, so we're doing something. We have proceeded to, you guys want to see me zoom? I stretched my hand out, and it did nothing. Sorry, no can do. Alright, we got a Curlia. We got an energy on the active, and it's going to be a pass again. Alright, we got a switch this time for Fernando. Still no draw supporter, though. Well, we got this boss, but this boss is not doing anything if we cannot power up a Blissey. There's simply not enough energies for that. So we're going to see the Blissey's ability here to move the energy to the Blissey EX from the Monkey-Dory. We see a switch being played. Looks like it's going to be a Chansey going into the active. And it's going to be a pass. All right, let's see what Brent can do. Brent can do, looks like another Vessel. Oh, it's an Ultra Ball. Okay, that's better than a Vessel. That's a Gardevoir right there. Brent's playing the game now. I think with only 1 energy in play here, we definitely never want to go into the Gardevoir EX tip. It's going to be the Cleffa, the MVP, according to Brent. It's going to be this Cleffa. Now, for some matchup context here, both according to Brent and according to Marco Cifuentes, it is going to be, this matchup is supposedly very favored for Gardevoir. That is what I've been told, both by Fernando's brother and by Brent. Now, I don't think Brent has played the matchup, but on paper, I do agree it does seem favored for Gardevoir. There's a Dark Energy. That is a good card. Now, obviously, favored for Brent does not mean that Brent is going to win, but it is some valid context to have going into this game. We're going to see an attachment here onto the Blissey, and it's going to be a pass back. All right, this is great gameplay, guys. It's like Badoo Wars, but without the Badoo. It's just, we call it Brick Wars, I guess. But Brent looking to break that now with the Cleffa. Fresh hand of now 8 after the top deck. We're going to see a Nest Ball. Now, what are you doing as Brent here, I think is the big question here, right? So, obviously, you never want to put damage on Fernando's board. If you put damage on the board, it's just going to get Monkey-Dory, right? And we cannot be having that. So, just like in top 4, Brent is trying to take all his prize cards through one-shots, with very few exceptions. But I think even fewer exceptions here, as where Caleb was playing 1 Monkey-Dory that he could sometimes get into play. Fernando is playing 4 Monkey-Dory that will absolutely always be in play. So, there will always be something, and we're going to see the Screamtail as the attacker of choice here early on. I don't think there's that many energies in the discard pile, maybe 2 or 3. Yes, this is finals, and this is game number 1. All right, what do we got? Gonna be retreating out of the Cleffa into the Screamtail. I think that looks like 3 energy there. That's 120 snipe. Likely eyeing up either a Monkidori or a Blissey. Not Blissey, sorry. Chansey. One of the two. Alright, we got an Iono top deck here now for Fernando. After the Monkidori did get knocked out here by Brent. So Brent is going to be taking the lead. We got an Ultimate with double boss's orders. Now that is going to be relevant. And then finally we got the Iono there. So definitely not happy to get rid of the double boss here as Fernando. Might come up later, although in fairness, I don't think boss is the most relevant card in this matchup. But yeah. We will see. See what we can do here. Alright. 5 cards for Brent, 6 cards for Fernando. 1 energy, I believe we have one, is going to be able to let us attack with this Blissey and knock out the Screamtail. Yep, there's the double happy switch. It's the only stream we got, chat. It's the only quality we can get. Doing my best. Alright. 3 energy on the active here. Still very scuffed board here. If this Blissey does get knocked out, there's going to be no energy remaining in play for Cifuentes here. God, I keep forgetting his name. I'm terrible at this. Looks like it's a Monkidori discarded from the hand with the research for the Ultra Ball for another Blissey. Yeah, if this chance or Blissey gets knocked out, no energy in play, it's gonna make this game pretty hard for God, I cannot, dude. Where's Cifuentes? I'm trying, man. Casting and being production at the same time is hard. Chat, I'm trying my best. Fernando. I keep wanting to say Frank something. I don't know why. Not relevant regardless.
Oh, I have some friends that are asking me for your ad. Can you give me the link for that?
It's Sticks PTCG. It'll be on Twitch.
Stick P?
Sticks PT. TC.
ECG?
Yeah, TCG. Well, so Sticks, just like how you'd spell Sticks, so with the S on the end.
N?
No.
Sticks.
And then PTCG. Yeah. Sorry.
No, thank you though.
No, thank you. Gotta let people see. All right, sorry about that. Back over. So yeah, Blissey takes a knockout here. Brent looking for enough energy to knock out a Blissey plus a Drifloon and a Bravery Charm. If we get there, the game is going to be looking very favored for Brent, as the Drifloon will be all but guaranteed to take at least 3 prize cards, very likely to be taking 4. Let's see if we can get there. I do not think we've used Fez so far. I'm fairly certain. Let's see. There's the Fez draw. I do not know what pieces we already have. See a Nest Ball. What else? Maybe not a whole lot else. Screamtail is still a very viable attacker here. Takes out another Monkidori. Would still keep Brent ahead, but obviously there is a Screamtail in the discard pile. We hang up the Drifloon. But without the charm, without the energies, the Drifloon is likely not enough. Let's see if Brent has the charm. Burned the 1 Nest Ball. Likely not planning on using them anytime soon in this game. Believe we have a Ralt in hand as well. It's probably going to be our last bench spot here. Yep, there is the Ralt. Attach, retreat. Gonna be going into the Cleffa There's going to be a Cleffa draw, I believe, 5 cards for Brent. We whiffed the charm, and now over to Marco. Not Marco, that's the brother, sorry. Fernando scores 0-0. Over to Fernando, my bad, wrong brother. Is going to be playing this nest ball. Now, both players are at 5 prize cards, so this does mean that as far as the 2-2-2 prize trade is concerned, Fernando will be going ahead here. Now, if going ahead is going to be enough, that's kind of harder to say, frankly. But interesting to note that we didn't see Brent trying to maybe put the Pheasantipity in the active or the Gardevoir in the active, so maybe try to like tank some damage, right? Scared of the Roaring Moon on the bench there. Of course, we have seen one switch go down. However, Brent does not know how many switches Fernando plays, and frankly, neither do I. Seen the one. Likely could be playing up to 2. Let's see here. EXP share to the bench Blissey. Fighting Energy to the other bench Blissey. We have a Boss's Orders in hand. We're going to hold it. So that is the 3rd Boss's Orders in hand there. As we have 2 in the discard pile. All right, now 4 prize cards remaining for Fernando, 5 remaining for Brent. But still, a Drifloon one-shot does just put Brent in a very dominating position. Let's see if Brent is playing around in their Boss's Orders. Hard to say. Be eyeing up a Curlia. Looks like we're grabbing the Badoo instead, though. Looks like we're thinning the Badoo, maybe? Yeah, we will be Ultra Balling away that Badoo and an Artisan. Likely for the Curlia this time. Yep, there we go. Curlia hitting the board for Brent. Solidifying this Gardevoir line, making sure that nothing silly gets him out of this game. But let's see. Yeah, if anyone takes a picture of me right now, I'm going to be sitting really awkwardly. Or sitting really awkwardly. This is not a comfortable position, by the way. Like, at all. That'll be the 9th switcher for the Scream Tail. I do like this. We're going to see the counter catcher on to the bench Blissey with the EXP share. And it is going to be a research for Brent. Thinning the deck even more. Staying well out of any ranges where he loses to Ayano. Also just realizing that if Brent wins this, Gardevoir will once again have won a major in this format. The only deck to do so in the West. Crazy. We're going to see the second Embrace retreat with the Gardevoir. We do have Monkey Dark. We absolutely... Alright, I think we're back. Sorry. It said that the stream disconnected. And then I looked at the stream and it said we were still live. So I kept talking until Cora DM'd me. So thank you, Cora, for making sure everything worked. But we are back. We are back. We are back. All right. So here's what happened. Marco bossed Brent's Drifloon. And to go to 3 prize cards, Brent's now at 4. So that's where the prize trade is getting us right now. So very interesting board here. 3 boss down. Let's see here. Looking to go into this Scream Tail as our attacker of choice here. We do have a way to knock out this Roaring Moon. Looks like to be the play. Very interesting that the Fernando opted to knock out the Drifloon as opposed to targeting something like the Gardevoir EX last turn. Because now he's at 3 prize cards. 4-card hand. Got Ionoed. I'm seeing a gear. I do not believe we play 4 boss. I honestly don't know, but it would surprise me if we are. Gonna be the research, so we are playing the game here. Gonna be a Night Stretcher being grabbed, eyeing up. It's gonna be a Dark Energy, makes sense. Do not know how many Night Stretchers we are down. Gonna be eyeing the Monkey Dory instead. And it's gonna be research. Alright. So what's the win con here? Because as far as I'm concerned, it seems to be somewhere along the lines of just frankly, just hoping that Brent can't get Drifloon plus Charm for game. That's all we can do. If Brent has Drifloon Charm, or I guess Night Stretcher Charm, then we are winning. There is the Night Stretcher. Looks like Brent is playing fast. I think Brent has it. There's the Charm, and that is game number 1 going to Brent Tonisson on the left. One more game of being your Monterrey Regional Champion. All right. Game 1 goes to Brent. Over 1,000 people in chat. Hell yeah. Glad to see it. Hope you all watch some scuffed Pokemon together. No Zork in Brent's list. Brent is playing Cleffa instead. All right. Shuffling up for game number 2. Let's see it. I think we saw a pretty clear indicator that this matchup is heavily favored for Brent. Gardevoir seemingly having all of the answers to the very bulky Blissey. However, with 3 boss and a Roaring Moon now known to the deck, known to Brent, as we watch Brent top deck Secret Box like the absolute goat he is. Yeah, this matchup is looking favored for Brent. Brent has full matchup knowledge, or full deck knowledge, I should say, after that game 1. Most of the deck was seen. Everything from Rigid Bands to Boss Counts to Roaring Moon. There could be a 4th boss that we haven't seen. It is possible, but I don't think so. It is currently 1-0 for Brent. We'll see. The game is not over, but it is definitely no accident that Fernando's brother did say that this matchup is definitely favored for Brent. His words, not mine, but the writing's on the wall. We'll see, though, if Fernando is able to make something happen here in game 2. Definitely not unwinnable, but it is going to be difficult. Be another Vessel eyed up here. Do we have a Poffin for Brent? Or we just think we need Vessel more? Maybe Vessel away research, I'm pretty sure. Looks like we're eyeing at 6 energy in the discard pile on turn 1. We're not going to go dark, so it's going to be 5. 5 is still a lot of energy to be down on turn number 1. It's going to make this late game and the mid game much easier for Brent. Let's see here. Artisan eyeing up what looks to be a Monkey Dory. Makes sense to me. I'll get the dark on there confirmed right away. A lot of Latin hype in chat, a lot of Chilean hype in chat. Rooting for Fernando. It's going to be an uphill battle. But if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be a world champion, right? And looks like we're going to Artisan for the Ralts. Get the second Ralts in play. And then attach to the active and pass. 4 energies in the discard. Maybe more, if I'm not mistaken. No, I think it's just the 4. And 1 on the active. We have everything we need here for Brent. Save a Gardevoir. But this is about as close to a perfect turn 1 going first as we're going to get. Let's see. Fine, I'm drinking water, I promise, I promise. Well, I'm drinking Diet Coke, because the water's in my backpack and I'm not reaching for that right now. Score is 1-0 to Brent on the left playing Gardevoir. Honestly, if I had thought ahead, I would have turned off ads for the stream. Not trying to make ad revenue off this, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of just turned on the stream and let it roll. Perp. Alright, turn 1 trolley here once again for Fernando. This time with a TM Energize, gonna make it a little bit better. Triple Monkey, triple Chansey here. Gonna be the turn 1 TM Energize here. Both A-Specs gone on turn 1. Their jobs have been fulfilled. Let's see where we take it from here. Nest Ball for Brent, gonna find a Monkey Dory. I think that's gonna be it. Let's see. We should have a draw supporter. We did Secret Box for research, and we discarded the research, but definitely means we have another draw supporter here in hand for Brent. Dark, 2 of the Monkey Dory, and there's the Iono opted to be played for Brent. Interesting. Can't see what's in the rest of the hand. Assuming we wanted to save it though. Likely stuff like candies or 9 stretchers, I can only imagine. Regardless, what do we got? I see a Clefairy, I see an Ultra Ball, see a Counter Catcher. Do we have a rare candy though? Can we get to rare candy? We have Artisan, so we might be going for a Cleffa angle. Definitely not something Brent is opposed to. Gonna be the Curlia grab, yep. No turn 2 Gardevoir for Brent, not that we need it. And it's gonna be the Artisan for the Cleffa. Now the big red flag here is if we are able to get the turn 2 boss on the Curlia here. Brent Iono'd here. We do have another Ralts in play. I forgot there was a Ralts in the active zone. Obviously, into a boss Curlia would definitely be good, but there's still a Ralts. It's not the end of the world if it happens. It has the boss in hand, though. Boss and energy, so we can actually do it. I definitely think that is what we're going to see. Can't imagine it wouldn't be. So, Fernando does have boss Curlia. Yep, there's boss Curlia. Retreat. We have the hand attachment, so we can go for the happy switch. Is going to get us there. And it's going to be a Pokegear after the boss. We have a boss for next turn here. Interesting to see why we're playing the Pokegear now, though. Because we're fearing the Dew. This does mean, however, if Brent isn't able to establish another Ralts, which with the Artisan it should be fine, but regardless, we might be seeing another boss hunt here. This does seem to be Fernando's line in the matchup, but the only one who's going to push him ahead. And what else do we got? Set score is 1-0 to Brent. 1-0 to Brent. Alright, Brent now. Nest Ball for Fesnipity. Draw 3. What do we got? Also got another Ralts. Can we find Candy Guardy this turn? There's an Ultra Ball. Is it a Gardevoir or is it a Curlia? Looks like we are eyeing up the Monkey Dory, third option. Do see a Gardevoir pulled to the front here, but we are going to be shuffling, so looks like it's going to be another turn of Grasping Draw here, and now all of a sudden it's looking better and better for Fernando. He's not out of it yet, though. Brent is favored in this matchup for a reason. Nope, there's Candy Guardy in the hand, Drifloon, and Iono. If we find the charm, there will be no energy left on this board for Fernando. No energy left on the board is going to leave him stranded and dead. We have the energies in the discard pile already. At least 4 or 5 of them. What do we got? Is there a Bravery Charm? There's an Ultra Ball. There's a Vessel. I don't see Charm, though. We might not have Charm. We're going into the Drifloon, though. And Charm? There is a Bravery Charm. And now all the energies on Fernando's board are going to be disappearing. Brent going ahead in the prize trade, and the writing is on the wall. How are we finding this comeback? The only way to get multiple energies into play on one turn is going to be the TM Energize, but by then it will be too late. Fernando back against the wall. What is the play? What is the line? It's going to start with an Arven. I can't imagine that's enough, though. It's going to be the TM Energize, but by that point, we're surely too far behind to do anything in this game. We definitely can't put down a 2-prizer. Can't let Brent pull too far ahead, although there's likely to be no boss, so it might be fine, but regardless, it is looking scuffed. Energize to the Monkey Dory, fighting energy to the Monkey Dory. It looks like we're going straight in. Yep, TM Energize being used here. Brent so far ahead now, both on board and on prizes. What can we do as Fernando? Gonna be Vessel for Dark. Thinning out the deck. Brent knows it too. Brent knows he's ahead. Very little counterplay available to Fernando. Nothing but a potential Iono countercatcher in a dream, maybe. If that. It's going to be the Drifloon knocking out the Monkey Dory in the active now. 3-5 in favor of Brent Tonisson. Gardevoir projected to take its second major title of the format, but I mean, what can we do? We got an Ultra Ball. All the camera crews lining up to film the crowd's reaction. There's a Cornerstone being eyed up. I don't think that's going to get us anywhere, but I mean, no, it's just going to be an Ultra Ball away. For what? There's a Blissey. Or is a Blissey. And the gear, that's going to be it. That's going to be our only hope into this game. If this gear whiffs, it is definitely just over. There's an Iono and a Research. All right, and a boss. Iono definitely the only viable pick here. We need to find a way to knock out this Drifloon, which in fairness is just 1 energy from 5 cards. And Brent is going to have to break off of 3 cards, 1 top deck, and a Pheasantipity. The odds of that are slim, but is the only out Fernando has, playing to your outs. It's the only thing you can do in this situation. 3 cards for Brent. Energy found. There's a Roaring Moon in hand. It's not going to do anything this turn, but maybe later, if we ever see a later, that is. We need another Blissey. Makes sense. And we will just be using Return, knocking out the Drifloon, drawing more cards, and praying that Brent finds a way to whiff here, finds a way to not have response. It's a big ask, but it's the only thing we can do. Cleffa into the active. Remember, 3 prizes remaining for Brent. 4 now for Fernando. Even if Brent whiffs this turn, Fernando is not out of it. Brent so far ahead. Of course, Brent, if he hits it this turn, hasn't technically won, but if we remove all energy from play one more time, it's got to be chalked. There's a Night Stretcher. There's a Research. 1 charm away from the game being all but sealed. What do we got? There's gonna be a Pheasantipity. All right, 3 more cards. Do we have it? There's an Ultra Ball being eyed up. I don't see the Bravery Charm. Gonna be a Night Stretcher for Brent. Bench locked. We have no way of using Screamtail, which would have been our other potential attacker this turn. There is the Bravery Charm, and Fernando concedes. Brent Tonisson, your Monterrey regional champion. Gardevoir once again taking the title. What an event. Brent Tonisson back at it again. He called himself washed and then proceeded to win. All right. Gonna go streamer mode here. Chat, thank you guys so much for stopping by today. I'm gonna end up here before I use all my data. Join the Discord so you know when we're going live next. Follow me on Twitter. Yeah, congrats to Brent. I'm gonna go celebrate with him. Have a good one, chat. Bye.